Everybody, Miss Midkiff here to share a book with you and do a few little lessons. Today I'm going to share with you a book called This Little Trailblazer, a girl power primer, and the authors are Joan Holub and Danielle Rood, I'm not sure. What I want you guys to do while I'm reading this book is I want you to keep track of how many women I talk about. Okay, so when we're trying to keep track of things, we can always use our fingers. But today I want to give you another way that you can keep track of things. And we see it a lot in math. And that is called using tally marks. Okay? So if we're counting, we can go, instead of using our fingers, our objects, we can make a tally mark. So one tally mark would look like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then when we get to our fourth one, and we know we're going to go to the next, which would be the fifth, we're going to put a diagonal line across that set. So we know that that is a group of 5. And we just keep making groups of 5 as high as we need to go. It's a lot easier to count by 5s than 1s sometimes. So if you guys have a sheet of scratch paper with you, and a pencil, crayon, marker, or whatever, keep tally of how many women I talk about while I'm reading this book and using this tally method. Remember, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. Okay? You can use it for all sorts of things. You can sit while you're looking out the window. It's kind of a gloomy day today. You could make a tally of how many birds you see outside, how many squirrels you see outside, how many trees you see outside, how many maybe neighbors you walk by your house in a certain amount of time. You can use that tally mark. It's a great way to keep track of things. All right. This Little Trailblazer, a girl-powered primer. This Little Trailblazer, a girl power primer. Paving the way to a future that's bright, helping the world with their skills, smarts, and might. Little trailblazers cause great big changes. This is Ada Lovelace. This little trailblazer helped think of a way to do math with machines called computers today. Ada Lovelace wrote one of the first computer programs. The U.S. government later named a computer language Ada in her honor. It's cool. I wonder if she knew about tally marks. Florence Nightingale. This little trailblazer had the courage and skill to organize hospitals and care for the ill. Florence Nightingale began the first professional school for nurses. She was nicknamed the Lady with the Lamp. Coco Chanel. This little trailblazer became a millionaire by designing simpler clothes for women to wear. Coco Chanel disliked the tight dresses of the early 1900s. She created comfortable styles that women still love today. Her clothes are very, very expensive. Now, I don't know if they used to be. Rosa Parks. This little trailblazer caused a big fuss by not giving up her seat on the bus. Rosa Parks' bravery helped change an unfair rule that African Americans could not sit by Caucasians on the bus. Okay. I hope you're keeping up with your tally. How many women have I spoken about so far? Maria Tallchief. This little trailblazer practiced hard at the bar. In the Firebird Ballet, she soared like a star. We've got some rhyming words. Maria Tallchief was the first prima ballerina of the New York City Ballet and the first world-famous Native American ballerina. How cool. Wilma Rudolph. This little trailblazer could run, jump, and throw. When she hit the track, crowds cheered, "Go, Wilma, go!" Wilma Rudolph wore a leg brace as a girl. Yet she became the first American woman to win 3 Olympic gold medals in track and field. Sonia Sotomayor. This little trailblazer can settle a fight about whether a law is wrong or right. Sonia Sotomayor is the first Latina judge and 3rd woman to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States. Ruby Bridges. This little trailblazer marched to 1st grade and changed every school with each step she made. Ruby Bridges was the first African American child at her school and helped change things so kids of all colors now learn together. Maya Lin. This little trailblazer designed a V-shaped wall carved with heroes' names that's beloved by all. Maya Lin is the architect and sculptor who created the popular Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. Malala Yousafzai. I've only ever heard her first name. Yousafzai? This little trailblazer helps girls everywhere to be treated in ways that are kind and fair. Malala wanted all children to be free to go to school. She is the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. I just had one of my students do her biography project on Malala. All right, so here's a little snapshot of some extra women. So I wonder, what is your tally count at right now? Here are some extra women that are famous in the world. Computers, lawmaking, designing, ballet. How will you change the world someday? Okay, I'm not going to read all these, but if you pause the video, you can take a closer look and read. And then my favorite on both of these pages is this person right here. You could be the next female or male trailblazer. You could do something really great for your community, the world. There's a spot for you here, right in the book. All right. Oh, let me know how many tallies you got. How many famous women did I read about? And then how many were on those last couple pages? I wonder how many tallies you got. All right. This is another great book that talks about trailblazing women. If you've heard of it, Good Night Stories for Rebel Girls. It has 100 extraordinary women in here. Some of the women that were in the very back of this book, we have freed up. What's cool about this book is that different famous artists did the illustrations of these women. Harriet Tubman and Nellie Bly. These are all women that were posted in the back of the Trailblazer book. So this is a cool one. This is a good read before bed, a woman or two a night. All right. So we talked about tally marks, and then I also have this really cool book, and I got to give a shout out to Mila for letting me borrow this book. I believe it was last year. I liked it so much I had to get my own hardback copy because I knew I wanted to have it on my coffee table. It's called Strong as the New Pretty. It's a celebration of girls being themselves, and it's by Kate T. Parker. I marked a few of these pictures in here because I thought they were things that you guys could do while we're out of school. Okay, they also had some cool vocabulary words that I thought we could talk about. All right, look at this. You guys can take baths and make big splashes. All right. This says, the floor got soaked and we forgot to wash our hair. And this was by Alice, age 7. So thinking about the word soaked, it's an adjective and it means extremely wet or saturated. Just be sure if you get your bathroom floor soaked that you clean it up with towels so no one slips and falls. Check this girl out. This is Taylor, and she's 6 years old. It says, we are making a clubhouse, and it's my job to make the mortar. I read that word mortar, and I said, what is mortar? What does that mean? So mortar is a noun, and it's a mixture of sand, cement, and water used to hold together bricks and or stones. This is what you kind of sludge in between them to get them to stick together. You guys could do that if you had your family's permission. It's a rainy day. There's probably some mud out there. All right. And look at this girl here. This is Hermela, and she is 13. And it says, being creative brings innovation and cultural diversity into the world. Well, that word innovation, I was not sure what that meant. And I looked it up, it's a noun, and it means making changes in something already existing. So by either new methods, ideas, or products. So you guys could show innovation in brainstorming some of your trailblazing ideas. This is something you could do while we're not meeting in person at school. Take a run. That's a photo of Deli, who's 16. It says, running requires both physical strength and will. Well, yeah, I will do something, but this will is actually a verb, and it's the desire or the wish to make something happen. Okay, my computer froze out on me. There we go. Oh, look at this. You see, hold on, here we go. You need to have gentle hands with small, fragile things. And that's Alice, age 5. So fragile is an adjective, and it's an object or a thing that can be broken or damaged easily. A lot of times our practical life materials and our works on our shelves, we have to treat them very carefully because they're very fragile and they are delicate. They can break very easily. One last picture I wanted to share with you from Strong is the New Pretty is this girl. And her name is Ella, and she's 9. And she wrote, I daydream a lot. My parents call it Ella World. I think up some really cool things. And to daydream is a noun, and it's a series of pleasant thoughts that distract you from your present current moment. So you might just be sitting, and then all of a sudden you kind of zone out and start thinking about something different than what you're doing. Or, just being creative, using your imagination, thinking about you being in a different place, or you doing something, or just having your creative mind. All right, so in addition to our tally marks that we learned about today, we also learned some new vocabulary words. And I think it'd be super cool if at home you guys practice using these vocabulary words in your conversations, in sentences, in stories. So remember we had the word soaked, mortar, innovation, will, fragile, and daydream. There's my little cheat sheet so you can see how they're spelled. So if you guys get a chance, try using them in sentences with your family while you're home. Maybe create a sentence using one of the words, or see if you can do something real tricky and make a sentence that has more than one of those words in it. Or could you come up with a story that involves all of these words together? That would be a real challenge, but I have confidence that you guys could do something like that. All right, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.